finished 4th. You have Denny Hamlin 5th, Brad Keselowski 6th. Then you have Jimmy McMurray, Chase Elliott, Matt Kenseth, and Jimmy Johnson rounding out the top 10s. That's your points as they head off to Pocono. Again, coming up again this weekend. And we are, as we said, 28 days away from Bristol Motor Speedway. Again, the weekend begins on August the 16th with the Camping World Truck Series, the UNOH 200, and also the Whelen Modified Series, the Bush's Beans 150. Then on the 18th, you have on that night race, the Food City 300. By the way, Ben Kennedy in to defend his crown for the truck race, and Eric Goodell will do the same for the Bush's Beans 150. The Food City 300, the 25th anniversary of the Xfinity Series race on Friday night. It'll be Austin Dillon in to defend his crown. And then on Saturday, as Charlie Daniels calls it, you see it up here on the hat, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race. Charlie Daniels does our commercial and says America's night race. It is Kevin Harvick's turn to defend his crown coming up again this Saturday, the August the 19th, which is, we said, 28 days away from racing at the world's fastest half mile. So that's a look. Of course, the William Byron, the 19-year-old phenom, wins the Xfinity Series on Saturday, holding off veteran Paul Menard for that particular race. So it was a great weekend of racing in Indianapolis despite the severe weather. And so they gear up, get ready to go, as we said, for racing coming up Pocono. And again, that'll be coming up the second stop going through Pocono, Long Pond, Pennsylvania, for the racing this coming Sunday. Hey, we're live at Hardee's. We're here in South Charleston, West Virginia, again and we're doing this by cell phone. Again, computer is live. Hey, 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 computer is live. Hey, hey, hey. So I think that means we're going to switch out and we're going to go to, All right, let's see. Looks like we're going to be able to go back. All right, fix me up, Jeremiah. God bless him. He has done a super job making this happen. There's Coach Whitman, perfect timing coming in. And so we're here and we're back and we're rolling. So we are here. There we go. We're back live, and that's a good thing. We're here at Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia. We thank you for being with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And again, this is show number 563. Not often we get a chance to talk to a state champion. We're going to do that coming up here in just a second. Take a quick break. Come right back. Make sure these commercials are running, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little high school baseball. This man took them to the state championship and won. Again, Coach Rick Whitman from St. Albans High School, again, St. Albans, West Virginia, where we are in South Charleston. Also coming up, we're going to hear from the Marshall quarterback coach, Todd Goebel. Also, we're going to hear from Mike Hendrick. Again, our NASCAR reporter is going to join us live in Northern Virginia by phone, talking about the racing activities this weekend in Indianapolis. So all that straight ahead. But first, let's take a quick break, and let's see. There you are. Enter to win tickets to the Bristol Motor Speedway night races. Again, the Food City 300. The UNOH 200, the Bush's Beans 150. Again, all you have to do is go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We're giving them away coming up on August 30th. And here's one of the big reasons right here while things are going real well, ticket sales right now at Bristol Motor Speedway. Here's a 30-second commercial on Dale Earnhardt Jr.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
The most popular track on the circuit.
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
Says goodbye to NASCAR's most popular driver.
Hell yeah!
The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race, August 19th. Your last chance to see Junior run the night race.
Man, this is one of the biggest wins of my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old US of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short-track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Brist Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Thomas Sports Show, we're live again in South Charleston, West Virginia today. Tomorrow, back in the Tri-Cities. Go right there, winning tickets to the Food City 300, the UNH 200, the Bush's Beans 150. One more time, I want to play this quick 30-second video. Check out Bristol Motor Speedway. This place is a happening joint. Dale Jr.'s coming to town. Let's play this, and then we've got Brian back on to play one more.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
The most popular track on the circuit
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
says goodbye to NASCAR's most popular driver.
Hell yeah!
The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race, August 19th. Your last chance to see Junior run the night race.
Man, this is one of the biggest wins of my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
It's going to be good, and again, it's coming up August the 19th, 28 days out. Had this gentleman on, again, we were on cell phone a few minutes ago, so he was awesome, and the phone popped all over the place, people giving a reaction. We appreciate that, so I want to get him back on again. There he is, Brian Roberts, the Brian Roberts Project, and again, let's see, let's turn this over where they can, there you go, there you are, where they can see you. And so, again, for those who did not hear the first time, I'm not sure even ask you, how did you get started in this? How did you get started playing the guitar?
My mom said, "You're going to play the guitar." I said, "Okay."
Mom said, "You're going to play." You said, "Yes, ma'am."
That's right.
And
That's the way it
where do
works.
you go with that? You don't go anywhere with that. Mom says you do. It's real simple. So, and you picked it. Did you take formal lessons? You just started.
Yeah, I took lessons here in St. Albans at Fret and Fiddle from Emery Higginbotham a long time ago. I think I started around 5th grade, and then I took off a guy named Chuck Bill up here in Charleston. So I took lessons all through high school.
Coming up, by the way, in a few minutes, we're going to hear from Aaron Ferguson, who went and played football at Kingsport Dobbins Minute, and now and a former two-time All-American playing football with Randy Moss and the Marshall Thundering Herd. And then we're going to get right back in talking to Rick Whitman, the baseball coach at St. Albans, who turns out Brian played on the same football team, so it's a small world. But wanted to let you pick one more time a quickie of some sort, and what do you want to, as the darling son Andy Griffith, what do you want to scrub off here?
That's a tough call. Let's see about this one here. This little superstition.
Stevie Wonder? Wow. Get a little funk going on there.
How about a little bit of that?
That was awesome.
That's a Pete Huttlinger arrangement there. I just played a little bit of it, but we do a lot of cover tunes like that, and we do, of course, original tunes too.
So can we ever get you down to, Brian sounds good. Yes, he does sound good. He's awesome. So can we ever get you down to the hills of Tennessee? Can that happen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We should be able to do that.
Now, you travel, you have yourself, you have actually two different bands, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So the Brian Roberts Project, tell us about that one, and then tell us about the other one before we let you go.
Brian Roberts Project is just a trio. We've got a bass, we've got percussion, and me on guitar, and it's all instrumental stuff. A lot of it is things I've written. The other half is just tunes I've picked up along the way. My other band is called the Dread Pirate Roberts, and we do a lot of swing, some jazz, some bluegrass, even, we go as far as play Bob Marley and,
oh, really? Bob
so
Marley and the Wailers.
We do about half and half vocals, half instrumental, kind of background stuff. But it's fun. We get to play up there at the Bluegrass Kitchen every week, and it feels like home up there. And we'll go wherever they'll let us play, really.
There you go. Well, obviously, in fact, he's teaching his son to play the guitar, too, who's a very talented young man in his own right. So that's the name of the game, is to grab it early and teach him. And so he's doing it and doing a great job. And so when you sit down and listen to music, who do you listen to? Who pulls your string?
I go back and forth. Right now, I'm into jazz. I've been listening to a lot of Miles Davis. But I like guys like Tommy Emmanuel, who's a great guitar player. But, growing up, I've listened to all sorts of stuff. One of my coaches in high school used to call me Headbanger. So,
Headbanging Brian.
Yeah.
Enough said. I know exactly what you're talking about, Headbanger. So, anyway, good stuff. And so is there a website folks go to find out more?
You can check us out on Facebook here. It's facebook.com/the Brian Roberts Project. And the same thing for my other band. It's facebook.com/the Dread Pirate Roberts Band.
That's great. Good stuff. In the position to race for the chase, which is pretty impressive. And again, we'll talk to Mike about that and everything else going on. Big weekend in Indianapolis. They moved now to Pocono, and of course we're coming to Bristol in about 3 weeks. Can't wait. We are proudly to tell you we're the track announcer at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we can't wait to get down there with all you fans coming to town. We're talking 150, 160,000 of our closest race fans going to be there. The tickets are flying out of there. 423 Bristol. Go to the computer at bristoltix.com, or you can simply call 866-415-4158. So there's 3 different ways to get your Bristol tickets, and I promise you, this is not hype. They're going fast. And don't forget, kids 12 and under get in free on Wednesday. Kids 12 and under get in free on Friday night when Dale Jr. races in the Food City 300. And then, of course, and here it is right here, the old ball cap, the Food City 300 25th anniversary. And then on Saturday night, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race. Dale Jr. is racing his final time at Bristol. Kids 12 and under, a $10 ticket. I mean, you can't beat it. They've been selling kids tickets like crazy, letting the little ones get in. Of course, they got to get them hooked. That's the future of NASCAR. Get the little guys hooked. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And so get your tickets, bristoltix.com, phone 423-BRISTOL, or long distance 1-866-415-4158. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk baseball with a young man who has won a state championship. Anytime I can talk to anybody who's won a state championship, I got to get them on, because not many can say they've done that. Coach Whitman joins us next, live here at Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia, home of the brand new sandwich, the Hawaiian chicken. You got chicken, pineapple, a little dab of cheese, looks like a tomato, some onion on that bad boy that looks good, with some teriyaki sauce. Got my name written all over that big old sweet tea here in a minute. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia, show number 563 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we're live here at Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia. Again, getting ready to head back to Tennessee tonight, ready to go tomorrow. Going to be live at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, will be there tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet, #1 champion dealer in the state. And Friday will be at a brand new location, Sprint Store, there in North Johnson City. So back down in East Tennessee tomorrow, but came back up here today thanks to Shannon and the folks at Hardee's. We do shows at Hardee's in East Tennessee, and they also in this market and said, hey, won't you come up and do a show here? And I said, sure. So we've had Keith Tyler on, the state FCA director, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We've had on, of course, Brian Roberts, the Brian Roberts Project. Coming up, we're going to hear from the Marshall quarterback coach, Todd Goebel. We're also going to hear from Aaron Ferguson, young man who played football in Kingsport at Dobbins Minute, went on to play at Marshall, two-time All-American with the Randy Moss era of Marshall football. So we're going to hear from him coming up. He's going to talk about it here and back home in East Tennessee and what it was to play for the winningest football program in the state of Tennessee in Kingsport Dobbins Minute back in the day. So all that coming up straight ahead. Also, Mike Hedrick joins us a little bit later on in the show from Northern Virginia by phone to talk about the big weekend in NASCAR. Casey Kane breaks a 102 race drought and brings home the checkers. Of course, he has won at Bristol the night race, so let's see if he can duplicate that coming up in 3 weeks at the world's fastest half mile. Again, let's run it one more time and we'll get it with Coach Whitman. Here's this 30-second clip for Dale Jr. Been to Bristol Motor Speedway?
Yes.
You been there?
Great.
You been to BMS?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I knew I liked him. Here's a quick 30-second break. Here's why you need to come to Bristol in 28 days to watch this race.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
The most popular track on the circuit
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
says goodbye to NASCAR's most popular driver.
Hell yeah!
The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race, August 19th. Your last chance to see Junior run the night race.
Man, this is one of the biggest wins of my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
He's coined the phrase, it's Bristol, babies. You've been to Bristol Motor Speedway?
Yep. Been there for the race and for travel baseball down in that area.
Love it. Rick Whitman, again, St. Albans State Champion baseball coach of the St. Albans Red Dragons here in Metro Charleston. So, yeah, as I said before you came over, I don't get a chance to talk to too many state champions in any sport. So, when we get that opportunity, we got to jump all over it. So, I know this is a stupid softball setup question, but what did it feel like to win the state championship?
Well, it was kind of unreal at first. Obviously, anytime you do something that's never been done in school history, it's a special moment. So, I've been the coach there for 20 years, graduated there, went to school there. I live there, so it's home. Always been a goal of ours, and it all came together this year. It was a great feeling.
So it means a little bit more when you're a little guy and you played in the Little League system, came up, played at the
Sure
school,
did.
went to the school, now back coaching. Thank you, Robert, very much. And then now back coaching at the school and bring home a state championship. So step us through. Of course, folks back in Tennessee don't know a whole lot about what's going on up here in West Virginia, but we have folks up here watching as well. So kind of step us through the postseason. How'd things go for you?
Well, we didn't make it easy, that's for sure. We kind of did it the hard way. We lost our second game in our sectional. We have a sectional, regional, and then a state tournament. It's all double elimination until you get to the state tournament. Lost a game early in our sectional, had to win 3 straight games, beat the team that beat us, George Washington, 2 times in a row to get to the regionals. First game in the regionals, we lost 4-1 and had to win 2 straight to get to the state tournament, and we managed to do that. And then it just kind of all came together once we got the state tournament. Actually, we were down 6-2 in the third inning of the first game. Ended up winning 16-6, and then played Hurricane, a team that we know pretty well, right down the road from us in the state championship. Kind of set the tone early with a leadoff home run in the top of the first inning. Ended up getting up 8-0, and ended up winning 8-2.
Don, getting you see on the screen, Rick Whitman, the St. Albans State Champion. Hello, Shannon. Shannon's watching, the Director of Marketing at Hardee's, and I'm going to try that Hawaiian chicken sandwich. If you don't care, I'm going to jump all over that one like a duck on a June bug. You've got teriyaki sauce. I'm looking at the picture over in the window. Teriyaki sauce, some cheese, a mater, looks like an onion, some lettuce, and that big old bun. So we'll try that's the brand new sandwich here at Hardee's. Also, they got the jalapeno double cheeseburger. The breakfast sandwich now is the Cajun chicken sandwich, brand new. The Cajun chicken sandwich, and also they've got the $5 big bag, and of course your choice of double cheeseburger, hot ham and cheese, or a spicy chicken sandwich comes with a small fry and a drink for $5. You can't beat it on a hot day like today. And don't forget, when it's hot, and it is outside up here just like it is back home, They've got those hand scoop milkshakes. Ooh, me oh my, ring this bell here. The hand scoop milkshake. What's your favorite kind of milkshake? What's your favorite flavor?
Chocolate.
Knew I liked this guy. Can't go wrong with chocolate milkshake. So when folks heard I was coming up here to do this show, and we've been put out on social media, you're going to be our guest, a couple of my buddies said, ask him, never thought of this, weather up here, down in Tennessee, it can be like today, or not as warm, obviously, but the sun be out 40, 50 degrees, front coming through in the middle of the game. I've actually been calling play-by-play where it started sunny. By the end of the game, we've had snow flurries or ice pellets, so
yeah.
Weather up here, is it tough to get in full season up here in West Virginia because of the weather or not?
It is and it isn't. It's just kind of a year-to-year thing. Fields have improved vastly over the years since I've been involved with coaching. So, along with field improvement, you can take some weather and still play your games. I mean, we played 41 games this spring, and we didn't have a great spring either. I mean, it rained quite a bit. But like I said, the biggest thing about getting more games in and playing our season is the improvement in the fields around the area.
It's pretty cool because there's a side story to this state championship game against Hurricane. It comes from the standpoint that the coach, you and he, you guys played with the state championship. You're kind of backyard rivals down the road here geographically in Metro Charleston. But you guys are dear friends, right?
Oh, yeah, we're best of friends. He graduated a year ahead of me, St. Albans High School. We've always stayed in touch. He was, when we were in high school, I was a shortstop and he was the second baseman. And then once we kind of went through college and decided on our careers, we both decided on coaching. I was his assistant at Nitro. Then he left and went to WVU and Alderson Broadus and came back. He was my assistant. Then the Hurricane job came open, and he took the head coaching job at Hurricane for the last 7 years. And he does a great job, and I've got all the respect in the world for Brian. And we actually, when I first started coaching at St. Albans, I lived with Brian in a townhouse in St. Albans, so it's kind of unique. But we've remained good friends, and we always will, no matter what. And talk almost daily. And he runs a great program, does a great job down there, and it's that was kind of bittersweet, winning the state championship because.
Beating your buddy.
Yeah, beating my buddy. But he'd already won one state championship, so I didn't feel too bad for him.
So you didn't cry too many tears.
Yeah.
I get it. We're talking to Coach Whitman again from St. Albans High School. So when you go out of town, play out-of-state competition, up in East Tennessee, they go down to Myrtle Beach a lot of times to play down there and get away.
Yeah, we did play a team from Tennessee this year, Unicoi County.
Unicoi County.
We played them at Myrtle Beach. And we went to Myrtle Beach and played the Mingo Bay Classic and played Unicoi County. I don't know where they're located.
Oh, it's right there in our neck of the woods in Irvine. Okay. Yeah, it's right there in the Tri-Cities.
Well, I won't say the score then on the air because we beat them pretty good. But
put a whooping on them.
Yeah,
that happens. That stuff happens. Some days you win, some days you lose. But when you gauge West Virginia baseball, high school baseball, against out-of-state competition, obviously you did pretty good against Unicoi County. But take a step back. How do you fare against out-of-state competition?
Well, we don't have as many kids as the bigger states, so take that into account. When we go to Myrtle Beach and we go out of state, we compete. Hurricanes compete. A lot of the teams around this area in the Kanawha Valley, they hold their own. Now, obviously, when you're facing schools that double your enrollment and things like that, it's tough. But I'll put our baseball in the Kanawha Valley and in the state of West Virginia up against all our bordering states, and it's the top level teams are really competitive.
To give you an idea, of course, you're a AAA school, St. Albans.
Yes.
So how many kids are in St. Albans?
About 1,100.
1,100.
Mm-hmm.
That's 9 through 12.
Yes.
9 through 12. So, and that's AAA, single A, double A's how it works here in West Virginia. So you're considered AAA school, and again, they do very, very well. So this time of the year, school hasn't quite started yet up here, but your kids off right now? You're going in the summer workout program? What are they doing?
Yeah, we took a week off after the state championship, and then they started their summer ball, lifting weights 2 days a week, playing 2 or 3 days a week, and that ended last week. Give them about 3 weeks off, and then they'll continue to lift weights 2 days a week. But then towards the end of August, they start a fall ball season, and they play all the way into the middle of October. So, a high school baseball player in West Virginia, by the time they've played their high school season, their summer season, and their fall season, it's going to play around 75 baseball games. So,
wow.
That's quite a few.
That's a lot. You've got two kids that, again, were named to the All-State team. Utility player Jake Carr, only a sophomore, and Nick Loftus, utility player, only a sophomore. So you're telling me off air that there's horses in the barn for next year too, right?
Yeah, we graduated 3 seniors. 2 of them were starters. They had great seasons, Taylor White and Alec Hodges, and did a great job leadership-wise to bring those young guys along. We're going to miss those guys, but we got a lot of guys with a lot of experience back, and hopefully, they thought that was a lot of fun, win a state championship, and work hard to try to do it again.
What was your final record?
32-9. Yep.
Pretty strong, Coach. 32-9. And who was your MVP of the tournament?
We had actually 5 players make the all-tournament team. It's kind of tough to say who the MVP was. Like I said, we were down 6-2 in the semifinal game, and Nick Loftus came in and pitched 4 shutout innings. Jake Carr led the state championship game off with a solo home run, set the tone.
10th graders.
Yeah, and then junior Chase Matheny pitched. He'd only had 4 starts on the year. He kind of got the nod there for the state championship game, and he threw 6 innings of shutout baseball. He was unbelievable.
It's great stuff. Again, anytime I get a chance to talk to a state champion in any sport, anywhere, I want to do it because it's not easy to do. You got to have a lot of skill. Let's face it. Some of these drivers I talked to down in NASCAR, a lot of these other coaches of these big schools, they say you got to have talent, but along the way, you got to have a little bit of luck. Kind of rolls.
A lot of
into
luck.
It, right?
Yes, sir. This team faced elimination in the postseason 7 times, where if they don't get the job done one of those 7 times, they're not state champions. And they found a way each time to, get it done. And after we lost the first game in the sectional, our motto kind of became lay it on the line. Whatever happens, happens, but if we lay it on the line, we can sleep good at night. And they did that for me, and I told them they were going in the state championship game. I said, for the last few games, I've asked you all before every game to lay it on the line for me. I said, I'm not even going to ask you for this game because I know you're going to. And when we left the ballpark and drove to Charleston, I had a pretty good feeling that I had 23 guys that were going to give me everything they had. Now, whether we won or lost, didn't know, but I felt good.
They're going to leave it on the field.
That's right. That's right.
In closing, out of curiosity, being in the media, up here, when you get state tournament times, is there a lot of media coverage? Do you have somebody covering your games throughout the years? Baseball well covered up here in West Virginia?
Yeah, it is. They do a really good job. Actually, we've got a thing called the West Virginia Metro News. They stream all the state tournament games live on the internet, and you can be. I had people in Florida and Texas, Tennessee, everywhere telling me, "Hey, we watched both your state tournament games," and it's a professional broadcast, and obviously the Charleston media, with us being a local team, covered us really well, and my wife made a big scrapbook the other day, and she filled it up with articles and things. So it's like I said, anytime you do something that's never been done, it's quite an experience.
Glad you stopped by.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Speaking of Facebook, there it is going out on both the Facebook and also on TomTaylorSports.com. So no telling who's watching this. Here's the thing: go back and watch it later on. It'll be archives. You can go back and watch it as many times as they want. But awesome, 32-9 state championship. Beat a good Hurricane team, and so they are the king of AAA baseball in West Virginia for this year. Again, the Red Dragons of St. Albans High School right down the road here where we are. So, Coach, thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Feed them youngins, and when school start back?
14th of August.
You ready for it, or?
Yes and no.
Are your kids ready for it?
No.
No. They're never ready for it, no. Hey, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. When we do, we're going to hear from Aaron Ferguson, again on the phone live, former Dobbins Minute and Marshall football star, played with Randy Moss. He's going to help me kind of assess the old alma mater, the Marshall Thundering Herd. Doc Holliday has won, 30 games over the last 3 seasons, but last season hit a 3-9, had a kind of a tough patch, and so they're trying to get things turned around down in Huntington. Also, a little bit later on, we'll talk about the Mountaineers. They've got preseason picked 3rd in the Big 12 Conference. And so they got the big game coming up October the 28th in Morgantown when the Oklahoma State Cowboys come to town. So we'll talk a little Mountaineer football. We've also got to take a look at baseball. Don't look now, speaking of baseball, but here come the Cubs and here come the Pirates, and they're making a run to the National League Central. In fact, the Cubs have caught the Brewers. Kershaw goes out yesterday. Strasburg goes out yesterday. A couple of big guns of their respective teams leave the game early with injuries, so we'll run down Major League Baseball. And the Reds, they salvaged, kept from being swept, rather. They salvaged a win yesterday in front of a half-packed ballpark, a Great American Ballpark. So they'll play Cleveland tonight. We'll tell you all about that coming up. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll hear from Aaron Ferguson next. It's show number 563 from Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Monday. It is the 24th day of July. Be sure and go to the website, TomTaylorSports.com, and get your name in the hat to win tickets to the Food City 300, the final stand for Dale Jr. at Bristol Motor Speedway coming up next month. And so multiple sets of tickets were given away, and also to the truck doubleheader, the Truck Series and the Bush's Beans 150 on that Wednesday. So lots of ways to win. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Again, we just gave away the Dollywood passes and had over 10 states represented. So be sure and go there, and good luck, and maybe you'll be a winner and get you to Bristol Motor Speedway next month for the world's fastest half mile. Great treat for me on the phone. We've got this young man who is from Kingsport, Tennessee, but also wears green and white proudly as an alum of the Marshall Thundering Herd, Aaron Ferguson. And Good day, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. How are you?
Just fine, sir. Before we get into this year's Thundering Herd and get your thoughts and expectations, do a flashback. Tell folks about the days when you played football, Marshall, and some of the great moments you had playing for the Thundering Herd.
Oh, there were so many positive experiences as a student athlete at Marshall. So many that do stand out, but obviously the 1996 season, going undefeated, winning the national championship, and basically dominating every opponent for the whole entire season is something I'll never forget. And all the relationships and friends, and still to this day we get together and have the best of times, and just continue to build on those friendships.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about, whether it's sports or work, whatever's relationships. So give me the championship game. Who did you beat, and kind of give me a real quick thumbnail of how you won the national championship.
We were 1-2. The number 1 and number 2 teams in the nation at the time was us at number 1, and then Montana at number 2. They were the defending national champion because in 1995 they beat us 22-20 on a last-second or last-minute field goal. We actually had a chance to win that game with a very closely missed field goal from 62 yards from Tim Openlander. Obviously we were returning 16 starters from the previous season. We added a couple of guys onto the team the next year, one by the name of Eric Kresser, who at the time was the backup quarterback at Florida behind Danny Werfel. And then so he transferred down a division, so he got to play immediately, which allowed Chad Pennington to redshirt in 1996. And then we also added a guy that's Charleston native from Dunbar. Randy Moss was on the roster at that point. You add those two guys into an already potent offense and strong defense, and it just made us pretty much unstoppable.
We're talking to Aaron Ferguson again on that 1996 national championship team for the Thundering Herd. Marshall football today, you go back to 2013, the Herd was 10-4, 2014, 13-1. 2 years ago, they were 10-3, and then last year kind of stubbed their toe a little bit at 3-9. So expectations this year for Marshall football. Again, Doc Holliday, winning 30-some games over the 3 out of the last 4 seasons. But you were 3-9 last year, so you got to get things turned around. What are the expectations in Huntington this year for Marshall football?
I think just like every year, Marshall football has the fans have real high expectations for what the team is supposed to do. And obviously last year was disappointing on a few levels, but the biggest thing I think that we've seen is that the team has grown. They continue to sign talented players, and what we have to make sure is that that they're taking the best product out on the field every single week, and they're playing as hard as they can every single week. These guys that they're bringing in now are extremely talented, very athletic, very fast, very strong, and there's a lot of really standout players that are coming back from last year's team that hopefully they can have some established leadership on the field. And I think that's one of the things that when you have so many young players that are in starting roles like we had last season, it's hard to really build or find somebody to kind of look to as that leader. Leadership is something that's earned, and you don't just get it for free. So I think that looking into this coming season, there's a lot of guys that have really stepped up into that leadership role, and hopefully they produce on the field, and I believe that they will. There's definite talent there that can go and win a lot of ball games, and as long as they execute, I think that it's going to be a successful season.
He wears green and white, but out of fairness, of course, the team in Morgantown, the West Virginia Mountaineers, coming off a 10-3 campaign with a lot of hope and promise. Will Greer's transferred from Florida to be the quarterback, and this kid can sling it. He's a great quarterback and a great pickup of the Mountaineers. So I know you wear green and white, but what are you hearing across the state right now about Mountaineer football this year?
Well, we have one of the teams that I help coach in West Virginia in Spring Valley High School is basically a feeder system right now. We're feeding a lot of the schools across the country. Division I programs are getting a lot of looks at our players from Marshall, West Virginia, Tennessee over the last few years. And one of the players that's a senior this year is Elijah Wellman, and he's their fullback. Talking with him a couple of weeks ago, they really have high expectations for this coming season. They're going to be a little bit young on defense, but with the addition of Will on offense, I think that their offense is going to be pretty strong. They have real high expectations, too. Their fans are real passionate about their program. Over the last few years, since we've had several players from our local area playing on that roster, I have paid attention. You know, they have a lot of players from the state of West Virginia on West Virginia's roster. I think last year they had 30-some. So it's something that we're proud of, is the fact that they're, you know, bringing guys onto their roster, and we're keeping up with them. And a lot of the guys from the tri-state area are, in fact, getting a chance to play and contribute and be leaders. As a matter of fact, Elijah just got back from a trip to go to the Big 12 conference meetings and media day and all that kind of stuff. So he flew down, and they got to experience that, and it was, I'm sure, a very positive experience. And his brother, last week and a half ago, got married, and so I got a chance to talk to him. And they expect this season to be one that they can compete for a conference championship, you know, and that's the same expectations Marshall has every year going in. You know, if you don't believe you're going to win, you're probably not going to. And they have real high expectations, and I think that they're both going to do well. And, you know, as long as these teams are in our state, we should all support them both, in my opinion.
We're talking to Aaron Ferguson. He believed he could win when he wore the maroon and gray, and they did. Of course, we're talking about Kingsport Dobbins Minute. Back in the day, we got the chance to call his games, and so played for Coach Clark. And give me some memories for the folks back in Tennessee listening this morning, and give me some memories of playing football for Kingsport Dobbins Minute.
Well, I'll tell you, that was some of the funnest moments of my life, is getting a chance to run out on that field and stand at the 40 and walk toward the goal line and run out to the middle of the field with Coach Watson there yelling and screaming at us, and, you know, Coach Clark and Coach Wilson and Wampler and, you know, all these guys that were just, Coach Barrett, that were just great people. You know, I think back to playing football there, some of the happiest moments of my life, and playing baseball there too. We had a lot of great times and got to compete against some of the best players in the nation, some guys that are still playing Major League Baseball, and it's a great school that provided me with an opportunity to go on and play football in college and get an education. And, you know, I still am very proud to be a Dobbins Bennett Indian. And, you know, people that I talk to on social media, when they have a birthday, and we were both graduates from DB, I always tell them happy birthday and then roll Tribe. And it's always something that's going to be very near and dear to my heart. And, you know, hopefully they can turn that ship around a little bit. I think they've been struggling the last couple of years, and they just need to kind of get some experience in the field and on the field, and I think they're going to do very well this coming year. Coach Clark always gets them ready, and players always play well for Coach Clark. You know, he gets the most out of the talent that he has, and you know, I think that they're going to be something to be proud of this coming year.
Aaron Ferguson from Kingsport, Tennessee, of course. You're still involved in football. You got some youngsters of your own that are playing, and you're also involved in a pretty successful program in high school. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm helping coach at Spring Valley High School. Last year, we had a very successful season. Ended up losing one regular season game, but then going on to compete and play in the state championship. We lost to Martinsburg, powerhouse out of the Eastern Panhandle, which is obviously a year in and year out powerhouse. This coming season, we're going to be very good again. We're going to be able to compete. We've got a lot of players that have won a lot of ball games over their lifespan, their short lifespan. And I think that when you have guys that are competitors, talented guys, they can really get on the field and really learn how to compete. And I think we're going to do well. We lost a lot of players from last season. I think we had 16 or 17 starters that we lost off of last year's season that were seasoned veterans. And a lot of leadership, but there's a lot of guys that have stepped up and taken on that leadership role that are coming up on this season. We've got a lot of talent. It's going to be an exciting year. There's a lot of competition within the MSAC, which is the conference that Spring Valley plays in. And I think that year in and year out, it's probably harder to win the MSAC championship than it is to win the state championship. But it should be an exciting season. We're going to be getting started here in about a month. Looking forward to that. Actually, less than a month, probably about 2 weeks, really. We're going to be getting going August 1st. Looking forward to that, and can't wait to get started. Football season's the best time of the year. Everybody looks forward to it.
You got it. Love him, love his family, great guy. Aaron Ferguson, thank you, my friend. Great report, and hey, we'll talk to you soon, and good luck to you and the folks at Spring Valley, the Timberwolves. Is that correct, the Spring Valley Timberwolves?
Yes, sir, the Timberwolves. Yes,
there
sir.
You go.
Yep.
So good luck to the Indians,
Thanks,
the Herd, and the Timberwolves, and Aaron Ferguson. Good job, and appreciate you, Aaron Ferguson. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yep, quick break. We'll be right back. We're live again on show number 563, the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink. Coming up next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live again in South Charleston, West Virginia. Quick break. We'll go to Mike Hedrick, talk NASCAR next, right after you hear this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th because it ain't just another race.
If she doesn't want to go, I'll just drop her off, meet you, but she'll probably go. I apologize. That's my bad. I need to be taught how to.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball from yesterday. First off, your winners. Let's go in the National League. Cincinnati actually salvages a sweep, and they beat Miami 6-3. Oakland over the Mets 3-2 in interleague play. Phillies get a win to beat Milwaukee 6-3. Brewers are struggling to say the least. They've lost 7 out of the last 10. They are rapidly losing control of the National League Central. Colorado beat Pittsburgh 13-3. San Diego over the Giants 5-2. Dodgers beat Atlanta 5-4. Clayton Kershaw leaves with back stiffness, which is not good. The ace of the staff beat Atlanta 5-4 in 10 innings. Washington over Arizona 6-2. And it was the Cubs beating the Cardinals last night 5-3. In the American League, Cleveland over Toronto 8-1. Oakland beat the Mets 3-2, as we said. Texas defeats Tampa Bay 6-5. Baltimore 9, Houston 7. Orioles beat the hottest team in baseball, or one of the hottest teams. Detroit over Minnesota 9-6. Kansas City beat Chicago 5-4. Angels over Boston 3-2. Yankees on the left coast beat Seattle 6-4. Starting this week in the American League, Boston with a 2.5 game lead over New York. Tampa Bay 3.5 back. In the Central Division, Cleveland a game and a half better than Kansas City. Minnesota 2.5 back. And in the Western Division, Houston leads Seattle by 17 games. Have run away with the Western Division. In the National League, Washington with a 12-game lead over the Atlanta Braves. In the Central, Chicago is not only caught, but by a single percentage point is leading Milwaukee. In the Central, Pirates 3 back, Cardinals 4.5 back. In the West, it is the Dodgers with a 10.5 game lead over Colorado. So, who plays who? Starting new series today, it'll be the Cubs in a 2:21 pitch in Wrigley against their crosstown rival, the Chicago White Sox. Tonight, under the lights, Houston and Philadelphia. The Reds will travel to Cleveland to battle the Indians. Miami will be at Texas. Cardinals hosting Colorado. Atlanta with R.A. Dickey on the mound, in Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. And then Minnesota plays against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. Mets at San Diego. Pittsburgh will be in San Francisco. In the American League, you have Oakland at Toronto, Baltimore at Tampa Bay. Kansas City opens up a series against Justin Verlander and Detroit in Detroit. Miami will be at Texas, Boston at Seattle, and Minnesota at Los Angeles. Steven Strasburg of the Nationals left after struggling with his control in the second inning. No word from the Nationals why he left that game. As we told you, Clayton Kershaw left after only 21 pitches because of right lower back tightness. Of course, he is the ace of the staff for the Los Angeles Dodgers, so we'll see how that goes for Clayton Kershaw. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll go to Northern Virginia. As promised, we'll talk to Mike Hedrick, our NASCAR guy, and see what's going on, the NASCAR fan reporter. Big weekend in Indianapolis. We'll talk to him next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Dillard Sports Show, there you see on the phone our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter with us from Northern Virginia. And good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Man, it's summertime, so I think we're in the middle of the griddle, as they like to say. It's the hot part. But, hey, it's summertime. I'll take it. It's a beautiful summer, and we got great racing going on.
You got it. Now, from a personal standpoint, are you a wintertime guy? Would you rather have cold and snow, or would you rather have the hot and the heat that we're having right now?
Nah, I'll take the heat. I'm not a cold person. I'm actually from North Carolina, so if it's below 70 degrees, I'm cold already. So, I'll get goosebumps on my plastic leg if I get cold.
I love it. All right. He is with us live again, our NASCAR fan reporter in Northern Virginia. Man, what a day yesterday. Kyle Busch gets on the pole. Kyle Busch leads, 80-some laps to this race. You think it's his to lose, and son of a gun, if he didn't lose, thanks to Martin Truex Jr. And Casey Kane salvaged his season. Tell us about it.
You know what? This Casey Kane, when people ask me, hey, Mike, how come you're not going to pick the race winner each week? I'm just going to say Casey Kane, because you just can't pick that. I mean, it was a great race there at the Brantley Gilbert Everybody Look at Me Brickyard 400. The day was like every other summer day there in the Heartland, and they had overnight showers, they had afternoon pop-up thunderstorms. Looking, back-to-back Brickyard champion, like you said, Kyle Busch was looking to try to get his third in a row. So he started on the pole, but at lap 13, we had lightning and storms were in the area, so they stopped the race and got everybody out of there. So for about an hour and 47 minutes, they came again with Busch. Hey, he was on fire. He won stage 1. He won stage 2. But like you said, at lap 50 to go, Martin Truex came up from the bottom really loose, took out both of them out of the race, found up finishing 33rd and 34th or whatever. And you know what? Bravo to the number 5 team that took a fuel strategy gamble, and it really paid off. Because even, Brad Keselowski led that final restart, but Casey Kane passed him right there in turn 1. Hamlin wrecked on the backstretch before Casey Kane. After Casey Kane had already gone over to that overtime line, the guy gets a win. I never would have called that his first win of 27, saving his tail end and maybe his ride in that seat. His first at Indy, 18th in his career, but like you said, that's a 102 race winless streak. But hey, bravo for him. I didn't see that one coming.
I did not see it coming either. But again, he's in, and so he's kind of punched his ticket for the chase. And he is having sponsorship problems, obviously, because he's lost great clips, and he lost also Farmers Insurance. So he's looking for a ride. This ought to help him, I hope. And it may give him a little confidence. I mean, he goes into those meetings every Monday with Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Dale Jr., and then Casey Kane out here on the limb all of his own. And so I would think that will kind of even the playing field a little bit in the old corporate meetings on Monday today.
Yeah, he had to be feeling like odd man out there for a little bit. And like we said, the fire was under him. I mean, he's one of the cars that everybody has figured in the silly season that may come up to grabs. There's available drivers. And he hasn't been until yesterday. Hasn't really been very productive at all. He's been off of the radar. So yeah, if I was him, I'd ring the bell and walk in with a little bit better step. And hopefully you're hanging on. He's still got sponsor problems, but wins usually will help out sponsor problems.
You got that big time. Again, we're talking to Mike Hedrick, NASCAR fans reporter. So Junior, his last trip to Indianapolis, not good. Qualified, 13th? Finished a very disappointing 36th. So big announcement today about Dale Earnhardt Jr. Go ahead and tell us about it.
Yeah, we're learning today that Dale Earnhardt has just signed a multi-year on-air deal with NBC. They're going to have a bigger announcement later on today. But, hey, we're breaking that story right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. They didn't say undisclosed amount of money, but we're going to see him in the broadcast booth starting next year with NBC. So that's pretty good. I mean, he's got $300 million. It's not like he needs the money, but, you know, that little bit of extra money could help him out when he comes through Bristol. He could stop by Phil's Dream Pit, get him some barbecue, go by Max Medicine Mart, get him whatever he needs, and grab him up a truckload of grip energy drink, and be a grip bootlegger back to Mooresville, North Carolina.
We're talking to our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fan reporter. Speaking of grip, here it is. This particular one I pulled out of the pot, the pineapple flavor, the grip energy drink, and we sampled some of those at Food City on Friday, and they sold a whiz out of them down there. Again, you can get these in Tennessee, of course, at all food cities, and it looks like a grenade, the grip energy drink, and the natural ingredients. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a second. Danica Patrick, Danica yesterday, where did Danica finish up? Danica, I'm scanning here real quick. Where did Miss Patrick go? She finished 11th. Not bad after qualifying 23rd. Mike, a couple of folks you don't normally hear, Chris Buescher, A.J. Allmendinger, Matt DiBenedetto, and also Daniel Suarez in the top 10. So there's some names we don't normally hear. The usual suspects were there, but some new names. That's kind of cool.
Well, they were there, but also some of the big names got taken out. Unusually at Indy, there were a lot of big crashes, and we don't normally see that many cautions or whatever. But, you know, there are a bunch of, cars on fire. I mean, we saw the 42 of Larson having to get out of a flaming car. We watched Martin Truex Jr. have to get out of a flaming car. And then we also saw motors blow on Hendricks. We saw Chase Elliott's motor blow and Jimmy Johnson's motor blow. So those are some big names that weren't in the race, and you know, they didn't finish a race, and that makes spots for some new names to pop up in there.
Talking to Mike Hedrick, NASCAR fan reporter. We're live at Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia, and so we're here again on this beautiful Monday, July the 24th. It's a hot one out there. So you look at what's coming up next, and of course, looming on the horizon, you and I'll be working in the same vicinity at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's 28 days out from the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, and so you've got some news out of Bristol. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because everybody knows I go to Bristol. I work I'm the announcer on the fan zone stage on the outside of the track, and then race day on the race night this time, I always go and work at the pit road party zone. Now, that's one of the very nice hospitality amenities that Bristol has to offer. And when we're down there, they have me in there because we usually will do 4 or 5 different driver interviews, and those could be anybody. But really happy to announce that coming this year here, so far I can announce that we have my hero and crew chief, Jeff Hammond, is going to be there. Now, Jeff has been is a champion in the sport. In my opinion, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And the neatest thing is he's been such a long time friend of mine and has been loyal to me when, when sometimes your name gets blacklisted or blackballed or bad things. And Jeff has been a man of integrity and stood by me. So I'm glad to have him at Bristol Motor Speedway. I actually look forward to one day being at the Hall of Fame when he gets inducted. But he's going to be more than just at the pit road party zone. He's going to be doing a handful of other things for the fans and for Bristol Motor Speedway around the track. So lucky for the fans. He's beloved by the fans. To me, he's the most respected man that I know in NASCAR.
There you go. Again, we're talking to Mike Hedrick, a NASCAR fans reporter. So might get you back on later this week and let you do a preview for us as they head off to Pocono again. The second trip through to Long Pond, Pennsylvania this weekend. Is that correct?
Yep, they're going to be heading to Long Pond. So if you need me to, just holler back. I can talk to you anytime. We're getting excited about that Bristol trip because I told you last week that my mom, 80-year-old Grace Hedrick, is coming to the track and bringing her best friend. And it looks like Bubba Burger is hooking us up with hot passes for the Xfinity race, and even more so, you might see those little old ladies working the pit crew out there for JD Motorsports or something.
There you go. Mike Hedrick, our NASCAR fan reporter. She just said, our NASCAR fan reporter, we thank you for checking in with us, and it won't be long, my friend. We'll be at the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway. We're pretty excited about that, and so I'll talk to you Wednesday. I'll let you do a preview for Pocono again, all right?
Sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, everybody have a great day, and munch chow while you're there at Hardee's and listen to that guitar picker there a little bit, and God bless everybody really good.
You got it. Good man right there. Mike Hedrick, what a pro. Appreciate him very much. Quick break. We're going to be right back, and we're going to hear from the Marshall quarterback coach as promised. Coach Todd Goebel, the Marshall quarterback coach, he joins us next year from Hardee's in South Charleston, West Virginia on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on the. Hey, welcome back to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live today in South Charleston, West Virginia, at Hardee's with a brand new sandwich, the Hawaiian Chicken. You got to check it out. Of the brand new breakfast sandwich called the Cajun Chicken. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But let's go to the phone. What a treat for me, because I'm a proud card-carrying member of the Marshall Thundering Herd. Go Herd! And with us is the quarterbacks coach of the Marshall University football team, Coach Todd Goebel. And Coach, first off, thank you for being with us. I know it's a busy, busy time, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk about Herd football. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. So thank you, and let's jump right in. Let's talk about it. Your quarterbacks again, Chase Litton, Xavier Gaines, and Garrett Morrell, kind of set the table for the Marshall quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, we're very excited going into this year. You know, anytime you can have a 2-year starter coming back at Chase Litton, backed up by Garrett Morrell and Xavier Gaines, and Jackson White, and then of course an exciting freshman coming in and Isaiah Green. All quarterbacks have done a tremendous job this summer preparing, and we're excited to get going here on the 26th. And as quarterbacks, the summer is kind of your chance to be leaders and take this team under your wing. And I think all those young people have grown in that position, including our 2-year returner and Chase Litton. And we're excited to get going on the 26th.
Absolutely. That's when it all gets started. Of course, opening day is September the 2nd against Miami of Ohio. We'll talk more about the schedule in a moment. So there's your quarterbacks, and then you come back with your skill position players, running backs, and wideouts for Marshall, and tight ends. Tell us about those kids.
Yeah, tight end, of course, is led by Ryan Yurchek. You're talking about a 4-year starter, true leader of this program and this team. Represented us extremely well just a couple days ago at the Conference USA meetings. Young man that's extremely talented, and we're excited to have him backed up by a local young man, Cody Mitchell, which will bring a lot of physicality and ability to that position. With Armani Levias, which is a mid-year guy we got from Oakland, California, a junior college transfer, which had a tremendous spring, which has done a tremendous job this summer getting prepared. And then also, we've got Devin Miller, a true freshman, coming in as well. I think all young men are going to play a vital role in this year's offense, and we're looking forward to seeing how those guys progress.
We're talking again live to the quarterback coach, Todd Goebel, the Marshall University Thundering Herd. Again, they start September the 2nd against Miami of Ohio. Coach, let's take a look and talk about the Hogs up front. That can make you or break you, obviously, the guys up in the trenches. Let's talk about the offensive line for the Herd.
Yeah, our offensive line, that's kind of where you're built. You're built up front, you're built inside out. We definitely do that here at Marshall, and Coach Alex Mirabal has that group ready to roll. And, it's a great mixture of veterans and youth, starting with our center, which is still a young guy, but has played a lot of football, Levi Brown. Our left tackle, Stanley Jean Felix, has had a tremendous summer. He's going to be a senior. And, as Coach Holliday's always alluded to, we want our seniors playing their best ball. And Stanley's had a tremendous summer. Jordan Dowry and Nate Devers at guard, and a young man by the name of Tariq Adams at right tackle, as we go into this camp. But, we got many, many guys, Alex Locklear, that are competing for jobs, and the competition is great. Coach Mirabal does a wonderful job with those guys. So, as far as being up front, being physical, being tough, and showing up every day to work, they'll be ready to go come the 26th.
There's some meat on the hoof. The center for the Herd, 6'4", 296. Again, Locklear, 6'5", 324. Dowry, you mentioned, 6'1", 282. Adams, the redshirt freshman, 6'3", 277. Gene Felix, 6'5", 320. Got some hogs up front to make the holes for the running backs for the Thundering Herd. Again, we're talking to Coach Goebel. Let's jump over to the defensive side of the football. What do you feel like is going to be the strengths of the defensive side of the football, and who are some of the kids we're going to be counting on?
Well, it all starts with our defensive coordinator, Chuck Heater. Chuck Heater and his defensive staff does a tremendous job of making sure that our best players are on the field and in position to make plays. I can't give you one particular strength, but once again, it all starts up front. I think we got a tremendous D-line coming back with Blake Taylor, Ryan B., Jason Smith, Naquan Harris, just kind of guys that have kind of played a lot for us. J.C. Price and Cornell Brown to do a tremendous job getting those guys ready to roll. Adam Fuller at the linebacker position is going to have some quality depth with the addition of DeJuan Young and Jawan Yulee coming in this year, with the returning of Chase Hancock, which is kind of our veteran there. So I think we got a great mixture at linebacker. And then in the secondary, which, Coach Heater kind of oversees as well, we got everybody back. From Rodney Allen being a senior to Chris Jackson playing as a true freshman, with Kendall Gann and C.J. Reeves coming back healthy. And then, of course, behind them, just tremendous competition with some young guys. So that's the one thing about our entire team this year is we had some young guys grow up last year. We have some veterans coming back, so we have a tremendous mixture. And, I think with one more year under the belt, everyone's kind of biting at the bit to compete at the position. So no positions have been solidified, but at the same time, the competition will be great come the 26th.
Absolutely. Coming off a 3-9 record, so room to improve. But if you look at Doc Holliday's record overall, he is 53-37. When you play the Herd at Joan Edwards Stadium, they are out of 43 games. The Herd's won 32. They're 32-11, so they're pretty stout at home. And, of course, in the conference as well, the Thundering Herd under Coach Holliday is 36-22. And, Coach, you look at the home schedule. Miami of Ohio. You have Kent State coming to town. You've got Old Dominion coming, FIU, Western Kentucky, and Southern Miss. A very competitive home schedule this year for the Herd fans at Joan Edwards Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, the Joan's a special place, and it's due to two things. It's due to our tremendous fan base and our community support, and also our kids taking great pride in playing for the M on their helmet. And, our young men understand the expectations and the standards that's set when you walk through the gates of the Joan and what's expected. And I think they've worked extremely hard to prepare themselves for that this summer, and we're excited to get going.
The road trips will be at North Carolina State in Raleigh, in Cincinnati against the Bearcats, at Charlotte, in Murfreesboro, at Middle Tennessee State University, at Florida Atlantic, and also wrapping things up at UTSA. So that's the road schedule for the Thundering Herd.
Well, any time that you have success, under Coach Doc Holliday, we've been undefeated in bowl games, which has been tremendous. And, like I said, that's the expectation and the standard of our program. Our kids have worked extremely hard. Coach Holliday does a tremendous job of building young people, not only football players. And, we're going in the right direction. We're excited to get started. Like I said, the first day of camp can't get here soon enough.
You got it. I'm very excited. I'm going to be coming and watching some games myself, my buddy Aaron Ferguson. So I'm very excited. Again, it all starts September the 2nd against Miami of Ohio. You want to get your tickets, of course, go to herdzone.com and get your tickets ordered, season tickets or game-by-game tickets to get in there and support the Thundering Herd of Marshall University. Just love seeing it. It gives me goosebumps. Coach, I know you're busy. Thank you, my friend, for your time. Good luck. And, hey, maybe I can talk to you again somewhere down the line in the season to hear good news that's going to be happening for Marshall football.
Greatly appreciate you having me on, and excited to get going.
You got it. Todd Goebel, again, the quarterback coach of the Marshall University Thundering Herd. We'll take a quick break, come right back. This is show number 563, again, of the Tom Douglas Sports Show. And also, don't forget, when you go to the website, TomDouglasSports.com/contest, get yourself ready. We're giving away tickets to come to the world's fastest half mile, the final look at Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Food City 300 coming up on August the 18th. We're giving away tickets absolutely free. All you got to do is go there and qualify. And we'll put you in the hat, and maybe you'll win some tickets to come to the world's fastest half mile at Bristol Motor Speedway. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live in South Charleston, West Virginia at Hardee's right here.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game. Birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There you go. Win tickets to the Bristol Motor Speedway night races, the UNOH 200, the Bush's Beans 150 coming up on August the 16th. And then, of course, August the 18th, there it is, the Food City 300, the final stop for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who did not do well yesterday, as you heard with our man on the scene, our NASCAR reporter, Mike Edrick. Qualified 13th and finished a very disappointing 36th. But, announcement this afternoon, he has signed a contract to be in the television booth next year for NBC Sports. That's a real surprise. I mean, this guy, you kind of knew where he was headed upon his retirement. So Dale Jr. will be in the broadcast television booth next year for NBC Sports. All right, before we get out of here, we want to again tell you about Hardee's. This is for all the Hardee's back home in Tennessee. And, of course, up here, they've got the Hawaiian chicken. DR, the district manager, said, man, you got to try one because it has Swiss cheese. It has a big old slice of pineapple. It has a mater. It has an onion. It has lettuce on it, and the bun is just a regular bun. And again, teriyaki sauce. That's what kind of drizzled teriyaki sauce, and it looks up here just awesome on the signage. Also, the $5 big bag. You have a choice of a double cheeseburger. I'm all about the hot ham and cheese, and you also have the spicy chicken sandwich. As Shannon knows, the marketing girl, she says, you don't do spicy because you got a little tender tummy. You're a sissy. I said, yes, I'm a nanny and I'm a sissy, so I don't do spicy, but they got the spicy chicken sandwich, the hot ham and cheese, and the double cheeseburger. Comes with fries and a 20-ounce drink. That's the big bag, again, for $5. Also, last time we did our show down in Tennessee, after the show had that right there, the baby back rib thick burger. Talking about good. Now that was a good sandwich, and it is a good sandwich at Hardee's again. And then of course the jalapeno double cheeseburger, $2.49 with double meat, double cheese, jalapenos, and Santa Fe sauce for $2.49 at your local Hardee's. And also we would tell you about the hand scooped ice cream, the milkshakes, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, again at all Hardee's locations. We've been up here at DR's store, and we appreciate the opportunity to come up here. Of course, thanks to Shannon back in the Tri-Cities, because they own both markets, and Bobby has stores here and has stores there. So we wanted to come up here and kind of hang with our buddy DR today, and we want to say thanks to a lot of folks. First off, thanks to Jeremiah, by our social media guru from AppalachianDigital.com. If you need somebody to handle your website or take care of problems like we had today, they can set up a website, build your website, take care of your social media. I mean, this guy does a great job. We've had already over 1,500 views of the show. Of course, this is archived. Go back and watch it over and over again. So first off, thanks to Jeremiah for helping us, because when we first got here, Facebook didn't work. I don't know why. I don't pretend to know all the answers why things don't work, but they didn't, and Jeremiah worked behind the scenes for a long time to get working. Thank you, Jeremiah. Then, of course, Brian Roberts, again, the Brian Roberts Project. Appreciate him stopping by. The State Director of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Keith Tyler, stopped by. Thank you, Keith. Also, Rick Whitman, who stopped by, the St. Albans baseball coach, who won the state championship. Appreciate him coming by again. The coach of the Red Dragons, what a nice guy. Guy's just class. And, of course, had his family here just well-behaved, and thank you for that. For being a good guy. Aaron Ferguson, former Dobbins, been a football player and went on to play at Marshall, two-time All-American at center, talking about his days as a Thundering Herd player and the days of Kingsport Dobbins, as you heard. Also, the Marshall quarterback coach Todd Goebel was along. We appreciate him very much, and we had a chance to reconnect with some old friends up here we haven't seen in a long time. So it's been a great trip up. Back in the Tri-Cities tomorrow. We'll pick back up, and I think we're going to be at Chick-fil-A tomorrow. Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A for sure. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in all the state of Tennessee. Nobody sells more Chevrolets than Champion Chevrolet in the Tri-Cities. And then, of course, as we said on Friday, a brand new stop. We'll be going to the Sprint store in North Johnson City on Friday. They got a big promotion coming up this weekend at Sprint. We'll be there broadcasting live as well. So we are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Our title sponsor is the good folks at Grip Energy Drink. And here it is. Again, you have them in the different flavors. You have pineapple. We have white grape. We have root beer. We have pink grapefruit, pineapple, root beer, white grape, and again, lemon lime. Also the sugar-free orange and sugar-free pink grapefruit. They're produced in Tennessee, and they're in all Food City stores, and they sell like hotcakes in this hot weather, man. They fly out the door. And this one right here, this last one I tried, I've never tried pineapple. Tried it the other day driving up here from Tennessee, and went down easy. Very, very good. So Grip Energy Drink, our title sponsor. Again, thanks to DR and the folks here at Hardee's. Had a good time up here, had a good little crowd. We appreciate that. So, and again, over and above everything else, despite the social media problems with Facebook. Who would have thunk it? Come up here and the Facebook goes out. But we persevered. It's all good. We just shift gears, and what they used to say in Scouts, always be prepared. And my father used to tell me this, God bless, rest his soul, of course, from up here in Cross Lanes, Nitro, where I'm from. He used to tell us, boys, the dust never settles. Always something. He's right. Is that not right, DR? There's always something at one of your restaurants, or always something. You just got to learn to persevere. Thanks to my buddy David Taylor. Came here, haven't seen him in 35 years. We sit down and reminisce. We're going to shoot the Bulls some more here in a few minutes. So good time. And we'll have a safe trip back to Tennessee and rejoin you tomorrow for show number 564. They said it wouldn't work. And, of course, on my wall in my studio at home, I have a little sign that says, anytime you want to quit, just remember all the folks who want to see you fail. I still get told this is not going to work, and we're on our 564th show, so it is working. And so we're going to roll this. We're going to be doing some shows from the Speedway next month, getting ready for racing the world's fastest half mile. So, again, out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. As we always wrap up by telling you, win or lose, be a good sport, and we will see you tomorrow back in Tennessee. And until then, for all the folks here in Almost Heaven, West Virginia, take care, and it's been good to come back home. We'll see you tomorrow. So long, everybody.